Okay. Hey, how is everybody tonight? Hello, Austin, Nathan, Tankor, Bucket, Jacob, Owen. Hi, guys. I see you all. How is everybody on the 4th of July? 4th of July live stream. Yee, hello. Hello, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Let me see here. Make sure it's... Get a quick drink. Let's see how long we can go without slow mode tonight. How is everybody tonight? Wow, everybody's coming in all at once. Hey, everybody. Hi, Brandon, Owen, Brandon, Strange, Little Good Doctor, hello. Kennard, hello. Ninja, hello. King, Ellie, Christian, The Meme. Hi, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Happy 4th of July to everybody here. Jacob, hello. Connor, hello. How is everybody tonight? What's everybody doing? Nice poster. Oh, yeah, that's my sister and her husband found that for me. Show, hello. Oh, yeah. How is everybody? Everybody going to be doing fireworks tonight? Everybody going to be watching fireworks tonight? That's the plan for this evening. After the stream, I'm heading over to my family's house after the sun goes down. We're going to be shooting off fireworks. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Sorry, guys. I've been getting over a cold. The robot, can you do the Hindenburg disaster? It's on the list. I'm actually going to be covering that very soon. But the next non-Titanic video that I'm going to be doing is the story of the Titanic sister ship that I now have a model for, the RMS Olympic. This is what we're going to be doing next. So that's the next non-Titanic video. The Strange. Sam, have you heard about the Great Eastern? People have been mentioning that all the time to me. So yes, that is something that we're going to be talking about on this channel. Maritime History, hello. Jake. Will it be the 5th of July in New Zealand? Oh, it's already the 5th over there. Let's see, BD. I want to buy a ship's telegraph. Oh, if you can find one, that'd be a challenge if you could actually find one of those. Let's see, Super. I'm not American, but I still watch. That's awesome. Let's see. Luca, I'm assuming you're asking me to do a video on the Andrea Doria. So yes, I am going to be covering the Andrea Doria as soon as I can. JA, how about the SS United States? Of course. You know we're going to be talking about the SS United States. Elemental, have you heard of the murder of Celine Quentin? I have not. Selena, like, is that the singer? Selena? Hold on a second. Selena, I don't know her last name, but I do know who Selena is, the singer from the 90s. Let's see. Singer Selena. No, I don't think that's, I don't think we're talking about the same person. Or we might be. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it. I don't know Selena's last name. The USS Constitution, of course. Barrett, can you do a video on the Andrea Doria? Of course, we are going to be doing that. Let's see, Fred, in the thumbnail, I thought Titanic was on fire. That's actually the Titanic Museum in Tennessee. They were doing like a 4th of July thing there. They recreated the front half of the ship for the museum. Fox Starline, hi guy, hi man, how you been? Fox Starline, how about a video on the unbuilt Oceanic? People have mentioned that to me before, and it's already on the list, so we will be covering that. And we have that. Okay, we got to deal with that. Let's see. Zach, what's it like in America on the 4th of July? A whole lot of fireworks. The 4th of July in America, it's a big day for fireworks, and we all usually, the families get together. A lot of people don't work today. And yeah, it's just a big family day over here. You know, we're celebrating our nation's history. Titanic. What happened to the Titanic's logbooks? I'm assuming they went down with the ship. I haven't heard of them being outside of that, but they might have been. I'm not 100% certain on that. Tim, our first super chat of the night. Thank you so much, Tim. $4.99. New viewer to your channel. Welcome. Love the Titanic videos. Have you read The Unsinkable by Daniel Butler? I have not read that book, but you've sparked my curiosity. Let's see. Unsinkable. Daniel. I have not read that book. Let's see. The Unsinkable. Oh, it's $2 on Amazon, 15. All right, I'm going to take a look into this. I just found the book. Very interesting. The book that I usually push on my channel the most is the On a Sea of Glass book about the RMS Titanic. This is the book that I use for everything. So, but I'll look into your book. Thank you for letting me know about it, and thank you for the super chat. Let's see. It is the singer, Selena. Okay, yeah. I know a little bit about her. I know she was murdered, I believe, by the president of her fan club, but she's a good singer. I really like her music. And it's really tragic what happened to her. Crafty, hi from England! Exclamation mark. Hi from America. How are you? More specifically, hi from West Virginia. Hello. Jack, are you shooting off some fireworks tonight? Yes, I went and got some. Nothing too crazy, but I did go and get some fireworks. You'll have to forgive me, guys. I've been fighting a cold over the past week. Liam, I live in Canada, so we celebrate on July 1st. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Colin, I watch this channel a lot now, and I learned a lot about shipwrecks now, and I'm happy. That's awesome, Colin. Thank you so much. Our next super chat, 50 from Surtur. Thank you so much, man. Hi, Sam. Love your videos. Thank you. What about a video about the iceberg that the Titanic hit, or icebergs in general? Interesting. So well, it's hard to make a dedicated video just about like the dedicated, it's hard to make a video just about that one iceberg, but a video about icebergs in general might be very interesting. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, a video about icebergs. That's very interesting. About icebergs. Cool. That is extremely interesting. Put this in. Hey, thank you so much for that idea, man. That is extremely, that would be a very, very good video. And we got another super chat. Let's see here. You know who this is? Going to test you. You're sending me Japanese stuff, aren't you? Just to see how I'm doing, aren't you? That's as I told you guys, I've been trying to learn some Japanese and stuff. And I'm glad you're doing well, man. I'm glad you're doing good. Anyway, how are you? I'm doing fine. How are you? Let's see. King, try shooting the fireworks at the exact same time the Titanic fired its rockets. One goes up. Whoa, gosh, that'd be a tough thing to do. That'd be a very tough thing. I'll probably be asleep by then. Let's see. Let me try and read a little bit of this here. Let's see. That's ko un ha wa sa wa. I'm trying to read this Japanese right here. That's cool. All right. Normal person, can you cover the Great Eastern? It's on the list. BD, most of the icebergs is usually underwater. Just a small portion is above water. Is that the part that is damaged? Is the Titanic causing it to sink? Wait, most of the iceberg is usually under the water. Just a small portion is above water. Is that part used? Oh, yeah, the outcropping. The outcropping that is sticking out. Lychee, I knew that was you, by the way. I did know that was you sending me the Japanese characters. I knew that was you. The strange. Sam, I think you missed a super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, yes, I did. Thank you for telling me. El Chris, $2. Thank you so much. Would you cover the Sultania? Happy 4th of July. It's on the list, but thank you for the super chat. And thank you for telling me, Strange. Wow, we're actually being able to, wow, I just realized we haven't turned on the slow mode yet tonight. Let's see. CJ, hey, Sam. Hope you're well on the 4th of July. Thank you so much, CJ. The Salt. Sam, here's a fan fiction of what the RMS Olympics sank of an iceberg. Wait, here's a fan. I think of what if of the Olympics struck an iceberg and a Titanic sank is near a nice ship. Interesting. That'd be an interesting idea for maybe like a time parallel kind of thing. Alex, Lychee leaves his mark wherever he goes. Ain't that the truth? Sending me Japanese characters to try to read and all that. Let's see. The Little Good Doctor. Look up the turning thing. I'm not familiar with that. I will take a look into that disaster. I'm not familiar with it. Matthew, Sam, my birthday is tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, Matthew. Let me take a look here. Everybody in the chat, wish Matthew a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Matthew. Let's see. Bradley, hi, Sam. Sorry I'm late. I'm watching the Titanic movie right now. That's awesome. Golden, do you think the Titanic would have survived the war if she didn't sink? Well, it all depends on what kind of circumstances the ship would be put into, you know? It all depends on if the Titanic what happened to it, you know? Was it a U-boat? You know, that basically all depends. But no matter what, the ship would have probably been scrapped in the 30s because you got to remember how quickly technology moves back then. So it wouldn't take long for Titanic to be put out of date. Let's see. Fred Bear. Oh no, I have to go to sleep. Will the stream be up after it's done? Yes, I always archive the streams. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Hey Sam, I found a guy who's a lot like you. Oh, cool. Let's see. Spook, Sam, is there any ocean liner still in service? I think the only real ocean liner, you could actually call it an ocean liner, but I mean, technically any ship can be. But as far as traditional ocean liners that still do the transatlantic crossing, I believe the only vessel is the Queen Mary 2. Christopher, do you think we will ever see the swimming pool but we've seen every other part of the ship? Maybe. I wonder why we haven't seen the swimming pool. Was that area... I'm not exactly sure where exactly on the Titanic it was. I know you accessed it by the grand staircase, so I don't think that part of the ship was damaged by the breakup. I wonder why we haven't seen the pool, because it was right beside the Turkish baths, if I'm not mistaken. That's it, because the Turkish bath is in good condition, so I don't know why the pool wouldn't be. That's a very good question about that. Because in one of James Cameron's dives, he made it into the Turkish bath area. So, Kara, what made you become interested in the Titanic? Learning about other ships. Love your content. Kara, it was basically the James Cameron movie when I was a kid. The James Cameron movie came out when I was 6 or 7, and that's what sparked my initial excuse me. That's what sparked my initial interest in the Titanic. You know, I remember seeing this ship, and when my parents told me that it was called the Titanic and that it was sinking, I didn't understand what that meant at the time, because I was like 7 or 6, and I'm like, so what's the Titanic? And then that was it. And I can remember my great grandmother was born in 1908, I believe, 1908, 1909. And I remember that I was like 10. And my mom, we were going to go visit her, and I was going to ask my mom, do you think I could ask her about the Titanic? And my mom got so mad. She's like, Sam, don't you bug her about the Titanic. She was 3 years old. She doesn't know anything about it. So don't talk to her don't bug her. I was kind of a rambunctious child. And whenever I was fascinated by something, I would bombard people with questions. So I remember she got mad at me because she had a big satellite dish outside. And it was one of those ones where you punch in numbers and it turns. And I just thought the dish turning was the coolest thing. So I just kept playing with it, and she got mad at me. Let's see. Blue. Hi, Sam. I love your content, but is your channel about ships? It's mostly about ocean liners, but eventually I'm going to start traveling again. I'm already doing a little bit of traveling, but I want to do other things as well. So, Backyard Garage. How about to blow up? Forgotten, you should do a video on the Olympics refitting. I'm going to be doing a video on the history of the Olympic next week. I don't know what all I'm going to cover in that video, but I am going to make a video about the RMS Olympic, because that was the winner of the poll topic. And I finally have a model of the Olympic right here. And for those of you who don't know, one of the easiest ways to spot, this is not the Titanic. This is its sister ship, the Olympic. The best way to tell the difference between these two ships is the promenade. So the Titanic has this enclosed promenade right here. The Olympic does not. That is the best way to be able to identify the two ships. Titanic enclosed promenade, Olympic not. And there's other ways, but that's the easiest. That's the easiest way to be able to ID the ships. Oh yeah, and I got this little model too. The Little Nomadic. This is the ferry boat that took Molly Brown to the Titanic. Let's see, Alfredo. Hey, Sam, why did the Titanic split in half? A lot of reasons, but it basically just went through okay, here we go. All right, it took a little while tonight, but we are finally going to be at the point where I have to enable slow mode. So there we go. And slow mode has been officially activated because I can't keep up with the questions at this point. All right, that's much better. Okay, so essentially the reason the Titanic broke in half was due to a variety of reasons, but mostly because there was just so much strain. And right around here, this is basically the weakest point on the ship. And this was just because there was so much strain on the dead weight of the bow and the positive buoyancy of the stern that the ship basically just split, you know, it couldn't take the strain. And you've also got the heavy engines on the back resisting the pull of the bow, trying to lift the stern up and into the air. And it basically just couldn't handle the strain, and the stern broke in half. That's, in a nutshell, what happened. I mean, I could get into a lot more detail if you'd like, but there was just so much strain on this one little spot right here on the Titanic. And there's also like an air intake, right? Or uptake, whatever. But there's an air thing right here. And this is a natural weak point in the hull. And it broke. It seems like it broke right around there. Christopher, is there any more info about the Titanic fire and then a compartment wall that will let go? Okay, so I've talked about that a lot. And for those of you who don't know, the Titanic did have a small coal fire, but it didn't really do anything as far as helping the Titanic sink. It actually kept the ship from sinking for a while because they moved the coal from the starboard side to the port side. And after they did that, the ship had a slight list to port. And then when the Titanic struck the berg on the starboard side, that offset of weight of coal on the port side actually helped the Titanic resist the flooding of water, which prevented the Titanic from capsizing. So when that coal fire was going on, they moved the coal from the starboard side of the ship to the port side and doused the fire as they went. And then when they were done, they essentially moved 300 tons of coal from the starboard side to the port side. So the ship had a small list to port from that point on. And then when she struck the berg on the starboard side, the coal on the port actually resisted the pull of water on starboard, thus keeping the Titanic from capsizing. Pretty crazy stuff if you think about it. Okay, let's see. Max, Sam, would this be a good... Wait, I completely lost your question. That's what happens sometimes. Okay, Amanda, Sam, if the Titanic didn't sink, would the ship become a museum or would she have been destroyed? I think she would have been scrapped just like the Olympic was, because you have to remember ocean liners weren't thought of back then in the same way that they are now. So back then, you have to remember the Great Depression as well. When the Olympic was scrapped, we were in the middle of the Great Depression. And just think about how many jobs that this gave to the people who needed work. They needed to feed their families. So scrapping of the Olympics supplied, I think, over 100,000 people work in a time when work was very hard to come by. Hi, Lishi. Let's see. Will you do a video on the Hiwaki Maru if it's still around? I'm not familiar with what that is. Let's take a look. Sorry, guys. It's a little hard for me to talk tonight. It's just my throat's a little tired. Or my throat hurts from this cold. Let's see, Hiwaki Maru, the Japanese ocean liner that was, interesting. Okay, I will take a look into that, Lychee. Thanks for the super chat. Cherry, I subscribed. Awesome, thank you so much. Inner history, we started at 7:30. Scope, could you do a video on the USS Monitor and the CSS Virginia? They were both iconic. Man, I'm sorry, guys. That's interesting. I will take a look into those. Let's see. Parker, can you do a Yamato? It's on the list. Let's see. Miss, did the Titanic go vertical like that in the James Cameron movie? Sorta. So basically what it is more or less thought of today is that as the Titanic went down and the stern began to rise up, she didn't rise as high up as in the James Cameron movie at the end. Because in the James Cameron movie, you see the stern going up probably, pretty high up before the Titanic splits. In reality, the ship broke much lower to the ground. So they think it was about a 23, 24, 25 degree far down before the ship actually broke in half and then the stern fell back. And then after that, it does seem like the stern did go more or less vertical. But when the stern went vertical, it seems like as she went down, she actually began to do this kind of a spin, this kind of a roll pattern as the stern slipped beneath the surface. Christopher, have you done a video on the Empress of Ireland? Yes, I did. It's already on the channel. Colin, I want a Titanic model so bad. They're on the Titanic Honor and Glory website. Just Google that whenever you're done watching the stream or when the stream wraps up, and then and that's where you find it. Yee, what happened to the rudder on your Titanic model? Oh, gosh. So this model has been through it, okay? Because I use it in all my videos, and I'm always, holding it and doing stuff with it. So it just gotten beaten up. So the bow part is chipped. The rudder is gone. It's missing a propeller. Believe it or not, I broke the fourth funnel off, but I was able to glue it back on. Both the masts are missing. My Olympic does have masts, but I just haven't put them on yet because they're kind of... The masts on models this small are not the greatest because, look at my Lusitania. It's it's not good. So I just haven't put it on yet. But yeah, it's just where I use it all the time. It keeps breaking off. Aiden, hey Sam, have you seen a video suggestion on Discord if you didn't look? The General Stockholm. I think we've already got that one on the list. Let's see here. Christopher, happy 4th of July. Sam, did you know the Olympic briefly beached one on one occasion due to... I did not know that. That's very interesting. I will take a look into that. I'm going to be doing a video on the history of the Olympic, most likely next week. Chris, 20. Thank you so much, man. 20 super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. When the Carpathia rescued survivors, they were on their way to Italy and originally wanted to take the Titanic passengers to Portugal before Ismay persuaded them to go back to New York. Did the Carpathia's passengers ever get to their destination? I am not 100% certain about that. I did not know that the Carpathia was heading to Italy after when it went to get the Titanic passengers, but I would assume it began its original course. Where did the Carpathia after New York City? To the Carpathia was transatlantic. Okay, I might have to do some research into that about where the Carpathia was going after that, but that is something I need to know. I wish I could answer your question a little bit better. So I'll have to see if I can find some information about the Carpathia's voyages, because when you look up stuff on the Carpathia, it usually only talks about its role in the Titanic disaster. So I really have to get into the deep stuff in order to find an answer to your question. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. A Canard transatlantic passenger ship received the distress call. At the time, it was making its way from New York to Fumi, Hungary. So it was actually going to, at the time, it was making its way from New York to Fumi, Austria. Now, so it was going to Austria at the time. That's very interesting. I am assuming that it continued its destination or its original voyage after that. But thank you so much for the super chat. I did not know that. I did not know all that. All right. So let's see. Joshua, happy 4th of July. Thank you very much. Welcome5. Hello, I'm a fairly recent subscriber. Welcome, welcome. And I'm loving your content. I was just wondering if you've ever heard of the MTS Oceanus. It seems like there's a lot of ships called the Oceanus. MTS Oceanus. Let's see here. The MTS Oceanus. Oh, yes, yes. I was thinking of another vessel. The MT Oceanus. Yes, this is the ship that... that's the ship where the captain abandoned everybody and left everybody on board. Very similar to Captain Scatino. And yes, I am going to be making a video about that ship. I am definitely going to be making a video about that ship. Eve, hi Sam. Would you make a video about the Scandinavians on board Titanic? I'll be interested in the animals on board too. Very interesting idea. There's so many different people from so many different cultures on board the Titanic. I need to do a dedicated video on the... I was wanting to make a video about the only Japanese man who was on board the Titanic, and a few others as well. But the animals on board Titanic is something else that people have been asking me about. So I'm going to be doing a video on that as well. I believe John Jacob Astor went down to the dog's kennel and released him. I believe that's mentioned in A Night to Remember. Evan, $2. Thank you so much. Are you going to cover a ship called the USS Slaughter? Slaughter? I think Slatter. I don't know if I'm reading that right. Let me take a look at this ship and see what it is, because I do not believe we have heard of this one before. USS Slatter is a cannon destroyer escort that served the U.S. Navy. Very interesting. Following during World War II, she was transferred. Oh, wait, is she a museum ship? It looks like it's a museum ship. It was decommissioned. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to save this, and it is going into the list. Thank you so much. Another one for the list. Man, how many things do I have in this list now? Good grief. Boom, got it. Thank you so much. All right. Let me see. I think I missed a super chat. Thanks, Drop, for the super chat. Let's see. DJ, hi, Sam. I think Captain Smith used to live in an area in Whitcurth. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where he lived, but I think that sounds right. And they actually do have a memorial plaque to him in that area as well, like in his former home or where he was born. I've seen a video of that before. Christopher, what is your take on recovering the Marconi device from the RMS Titanic wreck? So essentially, I used to be very much against anybody going inside the RMS Titanic and actually taking artifacts from the ship. But essentially, what I think now is the Titanic is in such a rapid state of decay that if we don't save stuff from it, then we're going to lose that history forever, because Titanic probably won't be there in 100 years. I don't know if she'll even make it another 20 with the state that she's decaying. So as of right now, as long as they don't wreck anything, I'm okay with it. Beforehand, they would always just take stuff from the debris field and they wouldn't touch anything inside the ship. But now with the Titanic rapidly falling apart, I'm more pro for them to go inside and actually try to recover some relics of this history. Because I got to visit the Titanic Museum in Orlando not too long ago. And it really makes the ship feel alive when you actually go and see these artifacts, So I'm okay with it as long as they don't go in and destroy the ship, don't go wrecking it. But I believe that whole expedition's been canceled. I think it was Park Stevenson who put a thing on Facebook saying that the plans to go and recover the radio have actually been postponed indefinitely. So I don't even know if they're going to be doing that at this point. And I'm also curious as to how much of the radio would be left after over 100 years at the bottom of the ocean. So, there's a lot of things on it. But if they do it, as long as they don't wreck anything, I'm okay if they go do it at this point. Okay, let's see. 7. Do you believe the Titanic's sinking was staged? Absolutely not. That kind of goes along with that whole switch theory conspiracy. I made a video disproving that, so just watch that video. Because honestly, how would you rig something like that? I mean, seriously. Joshua, will the Titanic dissolve or will it remain there? There have been thought it may collapse. It's going to collapse. I mean, eventually the metal will erode away, but it's not so much that it's dissolving away. It's more that it's being eaten. The Titanic is actually covering it in bacteria. So, hold on a second, guys. Oh, much better. But the Titanic isn't dissolving away. It's being eaten away by bacteria and stuff. So that's what's going on with that. Alastair, 1999. Thank you so much for the super chat. I wish you would have asked a question, though. Come on, guys. I love the super chats. I love the support, but I would always want to answer a question. So if you guys are going to donate, please ask a question because I'd like to help you guys out as well for helping me out. But thank you so much for the 1999, man. That's awesome, and it really, really means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if Alastair Sanderson. I hope I said your name right. Let's see. Blue, the first ever Titanic movie is lost. And this crazy part is that the Titanic survivor made the movie. And she would break down after watching the very first Titanic film. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm asking everybody in the chat this question because I do not know if I'm right about this. But I believe the very first Titanic film was made, 2 or 3 months after the disaster? I mean, it was a silent film. And as far as I know, it's been lost to history. But it was a silent film made by a Titanic survivor, absolutely right. And it was 3 to 4 months after the disaster. Am I right? Please let me know in the chat because I feel like I'm right. Let's see, Nathan, the first Titanic movie was made in Germany in 1913. That might be the official one, but I feel like there was one before that. I feel like there was one in 1912. Mr. Titanic, 1 month. Yes, yes. Okay, so that did happen. I'm telling you guys, Keith says it's not lost, though, but I really think there is a film that is lost to history. I really think there is. My gut is telling me. I need to do some fact checks, but honestly, I really think that that's a thing. But if there is a Titanic movie in 1913, I'm not familiar with it. I need to look into that. Another super chat, Redstone, awesome, too. Thank you so much. Would you ever make a video disproving the V-break? Oh, man, why did that gain so much traction? But yeah, I probably should do that. Titanic history, why the V-break didn't happen. That would be an interesting video to talk about. I haven't really watched that video talking about why that, Aaron 1912, why he thought that was even a thing. So I need to go and watch his video, which honestly, a V-break idea is absolutely ridiculous, but I haven't watched his video on it. But I feel like I did see it, and then I just kind of went, okay, another stupid YouTube video, and went past it. But yeah, I might make a video on that. I'm going to add that to the list. Let's talk about the V-break. All right, good idea for a video. Great idea. Sour grape, $1. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Redstone. That was actually a really, really good idea. 5 from Welkin. Thank you so much. Are you aware of the relatively recent discovery of ammunition in the Lusitania's cargo hold? I didn't. When was the last dive to Lusitania? I'm not really sure. But I've always believed that the Lusitania had weapons in its cargo hold, and I believe there was some on the official manifest. But honestly, I do think that was the source of the secondary explosion. There are people that still say it was coal dust igniting, which I'm not sure about that either. But I have seen some videos on coal dust explosions. But still, the level of detonation that occurred after the second torpedo hit the Lusitania seems to be what caused the ship to sink. When the torpedo struck the Lusitania, it does seem like the ship did basically start to list a little, but then after that secondary explosion went off, that's when the Lusitania developed its very sharp list. So I think it was the secondary explosion, whatever that was, that sunk the Lusitania. Now, in my opinion, I think it was weapons. I'm fairly certain it was weapons. And there is official testimony that there were some weapons in the hold, I believe. I'm not 100% certain what weapons it was or what kind of ammunition it was, but honestly, whatever that secondary detonation was, which I believe it was munitions, I think that's what sunk the Lusitania. And there is even a report that the British were actually spotted in the 1930s, actually dropping bombs on the wreck of the Lusitania. And people today actually theorize that that might have been them covering up evidence. And there was actually a dive to the Lusitania not too long ago where they found undetonated rounds and shells that match, I believe, the 1930s. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, there are undetonated rounds around the Lusitania wreck, which could also account for why the wreck of the Lusitania is in such bad shape. But now you could also make the argument that maybe some of those undetonated rounds were British ships confusing the Lusitania wreck with German U-boats at the time. You know, that's also possible. So who knows? I mean, the Lusitania story is full of conspiracies and full of rumors, and it's one of those things that we won't know 100% about what's going to happen. And I think while I've been talking like crazy, we've been getting some super chats. So hang on, let me get back into that. But thank you for that. That was a great comment. Welcome. Let's see. Joe 5, happy 4th of July. Thank you so much, Joe. Happy 4th of July to yourself. Alastair 999, thank you. The Nazi Party had their own Titanic film. Also, what's your opinion of the USS Texas? Yes, I am aware of that. The Nazis did make a Titanic film. I have not watched it, but I've heard a little bit about it. It's basically it's more or less a Nazi propaganda film, I do believe. But what is also your opinion on the USS Texas? The USS Texas. I'm not very familiar. Let me see. USS Texas. The USS Texas, a former United States Navy New York-class battleship. Soon after commissioning, Texas saw action in Mexican waters. I'm not very familiar with anything that happened to this. I don't even know too much about the history of this ship, but I need to do some research into it. I'm not an expert in battleships, but hey, thank you so much for the super chat. I will do some research into all of that. Matt, Aaron 1912 is not on YouTube anymore. Oh, really? That doesn't surprise me. Elvina 50, thank you so much. Thank you! Exclamation mark. I remember something about Titanic ship. The Titanic ship, the ship's cat who possibly survived the disaster. Also, do you have an official Instagram? Okay, well, thank you for the super chat. And here's the thing. I usually try to avoid other social media. I do believe I do have an Instagram, although I haven't signed into it in like 5, 6, or maybe even 7 years. It's been forever. But yeah, I don't have a Twitter. I never made one. And I do have a Facebook, but it's not a historic travel. It's just my personal one. But I'm very hesitant to try to make all these other forms of social media. I try to avoid social media as much as I can. But a lot of people I know use Facebook, so that's why I use Facebook. But I do not have an Instagram, but I might make one in the future. I don't know. I have Facebook, and I don't think I need a Twitter, and maybe I'll make a Twitter someday, but I don't know. I've never had the desire. But thank you for the super chat. And the Titanic's cat that survived the disaster. Let me see. Titanic's cat that survived. Did the Titanic have a cat on board? Jenny. Jenny was the name of a ship cat aboard the Titanic, was mentioned in the accounts of several crew members, and she survived the ocean liner's fateful voyage. Really? She was transferred to the Titanic's sister ship Olympic and gave birth in the weeks before Titanic left South. Really? I did not know this. The cat's name was Jenny. Hang on a second. Jenny Titanic cat. Let me see if there's a picture of her. I want to find a picture of this cat, and I'm going to show you guys if I can find it. Okay. I don't know if this cat is real. This picture, I'm not sure if it's real, although there is this incredible piece of artwork. Hang on a second, guys. I absolutely love this picture. I'm going to make a video about Jenny now. That is what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for that super chat. So here, there is this is an incredible piece of artwork. Oh, wait, that did not work. Okay, that link is way too big. I might need to find a way to actually share this. But anyway, there's an incredible Titanic artwork of Jenny with her kittens and the Titanic in the background. I need to figure out how to get all this stuff going. I need to get some screen sharing software or something. But thank you so much. I'm going to do some research into Jenny. I'm going to make a video about her. I think that would do really good. Thank you so much. Did we get any more super chats while I was talking about the cat? Let's see. Elvina, thank you. I believe we did get some more super chats. Blondin, welcome to the stream. Hey, man, how you doing? Happy 4th of July. Thank you for the 10, by the way. Have you ever sat through a full real-time sinking of the Titanic? If so, do you think you'd make it through a real-time sinking of the Android Doria? That would be hard, I imagine. Oh, the Android Doria, that would be very challenging. As far as actually sitting through the entire real-time sinking, I have watched most of Titanic Honor and Glory's podcasts whenever they do those. As far as actually sitting down and watching the entire video from start to finish, that would be it'd be kind of hard to focus on it for that long because the video doesn't have a lot of there's a lot of reading and there's a lot of dull moments. But no, I've never sat down and watched it from start to finish, but maybe I should do a challenge video. Do you guys think I should try to do like a video like maybe a reaction video or something, have the Titanic's real-time sinking and be talking about things as they're happening. Maybe I could do that for the anniversary next year, have the Titanic real-time sinking playing and have an image of me and be talking about it as it's happening. I need to talk to Tom or one of those guys, though, and let them know I'd be doing that because I want to make sure that because they usually do that whole talking about the sinking anniversary thing, usually with the big authors. Like last year, they had the author from On of Sea of Glass on the live stream. So I need to see what they're doing and talk to them because I don't want to be in competition with anybody because we all kind of help each other out. All the people who do Titanic YouTube channels, we all usually talk and we all try to help each other do things. So I'd have to talk to them, but that is a pretty good idea. Maybe I could do that a few days before the sinking or something. Figure it out. Great idea. Great idea. Let's see. Alastair 5 again. Thank you. I managed to find some pictures of my great-grandfather in the RMS Olympic during the 1920s. That's incredible, man. Join my Discord, and if you could share those, I would love to see those. That'd be extremely helpful for my Olympic video. But that is awesome. Another 5 from Tina. Thank you so much, Tina. Hey, Sam. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to you, Tina. And thank you for the 5. Can you do a video on the guarantee group from the Titanic? I actually already did. That's already on my channel. Go to my Titanic playlist. That's got all of my older videos, but I did make a video on the guarantee group already. But thank you so much for the 5, and happy 4th of July. Looks like I'm not coughing as much now. It's like that mocha actually settles my throat a little bit. Drew. The Titanic Honor and Glory store is located in New York City, I believe. They have a store? I thought all they had was the online online store. Holy cow. Hi, Sam. Please notice me. Happy 4th of July. Everybody, you're not going to believe this, but Rose is here in the live stream. Hi, Rose. Everybody, Rose from Titanic is here in the live stream. Hi, Rose, exclamation mark. Everybody say hi to Rose. Rose from the Titanic is here tonight. Everybody say hi to Rose. Great picture, by the way. Hey, Rose. Hey, Rose. Let's see. Christian. Hi, Rose. Omar. Titanic, Lusitania, Britannic. Oh, are you just naming off ships? Cohen. Never let go. Welcome, Rose. Hi, Rose. There she is. Rose says, hello. How's it going, Rose? Let's see. Flea, what are your thoughts to expand ships of the era, thinking World War I? Would you be interested in covering some parts of it? I feel it is a very underrepresented of those sailors. Yes, I am going to be covering more stuff on, I am going to be doing other things to talk about other ships like battleships and wars and stuff like that. I was actually thinking about doing a video very soon of the, are you guys in the chat familiar with the Christmas Day ceasefire or Christmas Eve ceasefire during the First World War? Where the British and the Germans walked out to no man's land on Christmas Eve, they had a temporary ceasefire. I was actually thinking about doing a video about that because that's a very moving story. The Christmas Day ceasefire of World War I. I mean, honestly, can you imagine what that must have been like for those guys to actually have to stop shooting at each other, come out into no man's land and talk to each other and get to know each other, and then go back into the trenches the next day and start shooting at each other again. I mean, I can't even, gosh. I mean, war is terrible. War is absolutely terrible, That is I can't even think about it. Nathan, the 1913 German film made Captain Smith into an alcoholic. That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. All those stupid conspiracies and stuff, and people needed a scapegoat, They absolutely needed an scapegoat, and Captain Smith, he took it. There was actually a guy, believe it or not, and it was talked about in the Dead Wake book, all about the Lusitania. But this guy, I kid you not, I think he had a small newspaper or maybe a magazine in DC, But he wrote this story not long after the Titanic disaster, where basically he said that he was on the ship, the captain was drunk, he was just bad-mouthing all the officers. So anyway, the police in New York, they go to DC and get him and bring him to testify at the inquiry. They put him up in a hotel and everything. And then the next morning when they went to get him, he was gone. He made up the whole thing just to sell newspapers and stories. And I mean, seriously, I can't even believe somebody would do something like that. I mean, believe it or not, I heard the same thing. A woman actually did that with the September 11th attacks. A woman claimed that she was there. She made up this whole story about how she escaped and this man who saved her and all that. Like, she just made up all this stuff. And it turns out she wasn't even in America at the time when 9/11 happened. And I mean, seriously, why would you? I don't even understand people sometimes. That's super disrespectful to the people who were actually in the tragedy, in my opinion. I think that's absolutely horrible. Let's see. Back to the super chats. I get off on ramblings. Alastair 10, thank you so much. Sally, my dude, I got a cutout. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much. Hi, Rose. Also, Sam, keep up the good work. I wish you the best. Have a cold one on me. All right, Alastair, you have a good one, man. And here's a cold mocha for you. Thanks so much, man. You have a good 4. Another 10 from Welkin. If you're considering going in the warships, you've got to talk about the USS Laffey. Also, did you know the Olympic and the Mauritania were scrapped side by side? Were they? Was the Olympic and the Mauritania scrapped side by side? Hang on a second. I need to research that. Well, thank you for the super chat, but when was the Mauritania scrapped? I don't feel like that's... With the outbreak of World War II, the Mauritania became a transport ship. The Mauritania was scrapped in 1965. Yeah, so they weren't. When was the Olympic? Because I know the Olympic was scrapped in the 30s. Olympic scrapped. The Olympic was scrapped in 1935. So yeah, the Mauritania and the Olympic were not scrapped at the same time, because I didn't think that made sense, because the Mauritania was one of the very last 4-stack or Aquitania. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Am I getting these mixed up? The Aquitania. Oh, I think I was getting that mixed up with the Aquitania. You might have been. Wait, hang on a second. I think I was completely getting that mixed up. When was the Aquitania? I think I just mixed up the Aquitania and the Mauritania. When was the... Oh, it says here the Mauritania was scrapped. The Mauritania became a transport ship and was reserved in 1947. So no, it was, according to this, the Mauritania was scrapped in 1965. There were 2 Mauritanias. There was another one. Okay, there was another Mauritania. This one looks like it, though. I need to do some research into that, because I do not know about that, but that's very interesting. There were 2 Mauritanias. Okay. Can you talk about the... I'm going to do some research into that. This is different than the 1912. Okay, Nathan, hey, thank you for that information. I'm going to do some research into that, and that's very interesting, because if it's the original Mauritania, then that might make sense. That really would make sense, but that's very cool. Let's see here. Alas, the Aquitania is the last 4-stack ship. That's what I thought. Let's see, Dislike. Hey, I've been watching you for a while, and I enjoy your content. Here's a subscribe. Thank you so much, Dislike. Thank you for coming to the live stream. Let's see. Silly, do you have any pets? I have a golden retriever. Her name is Rosie. She's in the other room. If you guys want, we can say hi to Rosie again before I cut out the stream for tonight. Jacob, Sam, Save the Titanic is a 1912 American silent picture starring Dorothy Gibson, an American film actress who survived the sinking of the Titanic. Is that film still around? Is that the film that... if it was made in 1912, then that's probably the film. But I really feel like there was a film that was lost to history. Let's see. Gab, is there any footage that shows the bulkhead plates below the sand on the ocean floor where the Titanic struck the iceberg? Any images still can be found? As far as I know, there is a little bit of iceberg damage that is visible on the wreck. The author of On a Sea of Glass actually talks about it. But as far as I know, most of the iceberg damage is buried, because the Titanic... when she hit the seafloor, she's basically dug in all the way up to the anchor. Now, the further aft you go, the more and more of the bottom part of the ship is exposed. So I'm sure a little bit of iceberg damage is exposed, but a good chunk of it is under the ground of the seafloor, or under the seafloor. However, I think it'd be pretty hard to spot, though, due to all the rusticles and stuff and the corrosion that's on the hull. Rosie. Austin, do you think Carnival will build another ocean liner like the Queen Mary 2 retires in about 40 years? I hope so. I hope that they do. Yeah, that's crazy that Carnival owns Cunard Line. That's crazy. Show, the 1912 film is the one that was lost in the fire, I believe. That's what I thought. There was a film that was lost to history. Mr. Rubio, Sam, I have an interesting video idea. All right. Have you thought about making a video about nuclear powered ships? Like there's even a nuclear powered passenger ship. Excuse me. A nuclear powered ship. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't think of any nuclear powered ships off the top of my head. I can think of nuclear powered submarines. I was actually thinking about making a video on was it the K-19 submarine that actually had that nuclear reactor meltdown? I was thinking about that, but let's see. Rail fam, if they wanted, they could bring back the Queen Mary. It would be very expensive to restore the Queen Mary. It'd be very, very expensive to restore. But yes, they could if they really, really wanted to. They were actually talking about restoring the SS United States, but that ship is gutted, you know? Maritime history. Happy 4th of July, Sam. Happy 4th maritime history. I was at your live stream in June 27th of 2021. Awesome. And I gave you the idea to do a video on the Great Western, not Alex. Okay, go back. Okay, I'll take a look at that. GX, was there a camera on the Titanic? Yes, the only photographs we have of the Titanic was a camera. It was taken by a pastor, and he disembarked the Titanic in Queenstown. So that's the only reason why we still have the photos. But I don't know if there were any more photos taken on the Titanic after that. But if they were lost in the sinking. Let's see. Leslie, can you do a video on the Montrose from 1920? My great-grandma was on board in 1923. The Montrose. I'm not very familiar with that. Let me take a look. The Montrose. Copy and paste into the old Google. That is not it. I love the random stuff that pops up when I type in something on Google. Okay, it's not pulling up, but I need to do some checking into it. But hey, thank you so much, and I'll look into it. Got another super chat, 100 from Vemby. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts about the recent discovery about the Estonia? The damage on the wreck now points to a collision with the submarine Russian. It's pretty big. Okay. So at the time of making my video, I did not know about that. But somebody mentioned that to me not long after that. And I did watch some video on that, and I did see the hull. And honestly, I don't know what to think. That's pretty insane. And then I hear stuff about the government actually wanting to bury the wreck of the Estonia in concrete. And I hear that they even guard the wreck site. Like they don't want people there messing around with it. You know, like they don't want people messing around with the Estonia wreck. So honestly, it looks like there's something fishy going on there. It really does. And I'm not really big into conspiracy stuff, but honestly, with that big hole on the bottom, unless that hole would be somehow formed by the ship making contact with the seafloor, which maybe, but I don't know exactly where the hole is on the wreck, because you have to remember the Britannic, when it hit the seafloor, it has a big hole in the side, but that was made by the ship impacting the seafloor, because as the Britannic was moving forward at the time of her sinking, as she went down, she rolled completely over onto her side, and then the bow hit the seafloor, and then as she bent and warped, the hull actually ripped open right around here as she laid flat. But I don't think the spot on the Estonia matches that kind of damage. I'd have to go and double check again, but I did see some information about this strange hole. But I don't even believe you're allowed to dive the Estonia. In the chat, guys, do you know how deep the Estonia is? Critical. The Estonia is laying on soft clay, so it's unlikely the hole was caused by the ship hitting seafloor. Okay, so that's interesting. So that would prevent that. But where exactly is the hole? How deep is the Estonia, and where is the hole on the hull? Because it depends on where it is. But honestly, from what I've heard, it does seem like there might have been something. It looks like there's something might be a little bit fishy with the Estonia. Nathan, no, because it's a grave site. Hundreds of bodies are still. Oh, so they never recovered anybody from the Estonia. That's crazy. Daniel, the Estonia isn't that deep, I don't believe. Okay. Let's see. Maritime history, 80 meters. Okay, 85 meters, so right around there. Let's see. Goku, when did the Estonia sink? I forget off the top of my head. It was in the 90s, I believe. Hang on. When? I believe 1991. Or I might be thinking of the Oceanus. 1994. Okay, the Estonia sank in 1994. I knew I was alive, but I knew I was little. Let's see. Cameron, RMS Aquitania and RMS Mauritania, the Queen Mary. Can you make videos on these ships? They're on the list. Of course, I'm going to make videos on those lists. Roblox, the hull is on the starboard side, but since it's upside down, it looks like it was on the port side. The Estonia sank in 1994. But where exactly on the hull is the hull? You know, okay, so it's on that side, but where exactly on the ship is the hull? You know, like, because that would tell us something, you know, where exactly is the hull? Because, and it also, I wonder how the Estonia made contact with the seafloor. Did it just drop straight down, or did it slide down? There's a lot of questions. Dante, hey Sam, love your videos. Question, do you think that actually saw the iceberg? Wait, like, okay. Okay, hey Sam, love your videos. Awesome. Question, who do you think that actually saw the iceberg first that night? The ship's lookouts or William Murdoch? I think Murdoch absolutely saw the iceberg first, because where he was actually lower on the Titanic at the time, he wouldn't have been so messed up by the mirage effect, I believe. Because, and you also have to think about Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee, because when they actually called in, I forget which officer answered the phone, but as soon as he said iceberg right ahead, the officer simply said thank you and hung up. It wasn't like an urgent, like, no, no, no. And I believe he also said that by the time they reported it, the Titanic was already beginning to turn. So I do think that Murdoch spotted the berg briefly before the lookouts and the crow's nest did. Not by much, but I do think that they spotted it just before. It was Fleet. Okay. It was Fleet. Man, you guys know, like, anytime I forget some detail, you guys know it so fast. It always blows my mind. You know, that's one of my favorite things about doing this YouTube channel and doing these live streams every week, is just how many people out there are just as into the Titanic as I am. And honestly, it blows my mind. It really means the world to me, guys. We got a 10 from Nate. Thank you so much. You're an absolute legend. Thanks so much, Nate. Nate, you're a legend. Would you do a video on Pearl Harbor? Keep up the great work. Happy 4th of July from your Canadian brothers. Thank you so much, man. And happy 4th of July yourself. And yes, Pearl Harbor is on my list. And I really want to go and visit Pearl Harbor for that video. And I really want to go pay respects at the memorial to the USS Arizona. I really want to do that as well. But yes, it's on the list. And thank you for the super chat. Welcome, 5. Thank you. The hull on the Estonia is just forward of the midpoint. That is very interesting. That is extremely interesting. So yeah, I don't know how that would happen based on the official accounts of the sinking. Okay, now you've got me curious. I wonder if the, does anybody know, is the ramp door gone on the Estonia? Is the ramp, because you know the Estonia had that bow section. The Estonia had a bow at the front, and it basically on the bow, it had a big door that would come down and lower flat, and that's how cars would drive up inside the Estonia. Is that gone on the wreck? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But is that door gone? Because if that door isn't gone, then that basically throws the whole story of the Estonia out of whack. The ramp was recovered. Yes, it was. Yeah, I do remember hearing that. They actually found that. So that is gone. Maybe the submarine? Well, I need to do some research into that. Okay, no, they found the ramp. Well, they did recover something from the Estonia. I remember, I think it was a part of the bow section. But no, they found the ramp door several hundred meters from the wreck. Okay, so it did come off. I need to do some research into that, because if the ramp door was still on there, then that basically throws the entire story of the Estonia out of whack. So, interesting. Aaron, was the White Star Line going to add another ship to the Olympic class? I heard they were going to call her. I don't believe so. I believe that they were always planning to have 3. Maritime history. Yep, the ramp door came off. Okay, so then if the submarine hit the Estonia and hit it at the midpoint, then how would that fall off? You know, how would that come off in that situation? So many questions. So many. Well, yeah, Mr. Aiden, yeah, it did separate because of rough waves. That's the official story. But people are thinking that a submarine hit the Estonia. So, I need to do some. There's so many questions. Oh, I think I missed some super chats while I was talking, which seems to happen sometimes. Did I miss a? That was a while back. Okay. There was a $1 super chat from Martin. Thank you so much. Will I do Midway? Yes, I am definitely going to talk about Midway. DJ, have you heard of the RMS Taylor sank on her maiden voyage and was built? The RMS Taylor, I believe I just looked that ship up the other day. RMS Taylor. Yes. Is this that sailing ship? Yes, the RMS Taylor was the full rig, and I believe she was yes, the RMS Taylor was another ship that was built in the year 1854, and it was actually on its maiden voyage when it went down. Basically described as the first Titanic. Of 650 on board, 280 survived. I was actually thinking about making a video about the Taylor. So yeah, somebody mentioned that ship to me in my comment section, and the very first Titanic, sort of. I always thought that the Atlantic was the big one, but honestly, it looks like there was another one. But very interesting, the Taylor. I was really planning to make a video about that, and there's some pretty good pictures or artist renditions of it. The RMS Taylor, very interesting. But thank you there. I am definitely going to make a video about that. Bana, where do you get your models? I get them from the Titanic Honor and Glory store, and I have 4 of them here now. Well, technically 5. So here's all of my models. Did I miss a super chat? No. I have the RMS Titanic. I've got the HMHS Britannic. We've got the RMS Lusitania right here. We've also got the RMS Olympic right here. And we also have the SS Nomadic. This is the little tender boat that took Molly Brown and I believe John Jacob Astor. I think that they took those people. I know it took Molly Brown, but I'm pretty sure it took Astor. But it took them to the Titanic. But those are my traditional ocean liner models. I do have some actual artifacts from the Olympic. I've showed it on the live stream before. If you guys would like, I can show you the model, the artifacts again on this stream if y'all want. If you guys want me to show the Olympic stuff again, let me know in the chat. But I have some documents that came from the Olympic. Maritime, yes, it took Astor. Maritime, you know your stuff, man. I'm super impressed. Let's see, Cameron. Excuse me. FS, do you have... Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I got a cough. FSU, any plans for the Sultania? It's a real tragedy. It's on the list. Yes, I'd like to see the Olympic stuff. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, those models are amazing. Where did you get them? Titanic Honor and Glory store. That's where I got them. Okay, I can show those artifacts again if you guys would like to see them. Scott 5, Sam, can you do a video about the Carpathia? If you don't make, please make a video about it. Yes, I am going to make a video. Sam, do you have a video about the Carpathia? If you don't, please make. Okay, I don't have a video about the Carpathia yet, but I am going to be doing that very soon. Okay, we are coming up on that. So you know what? So you guys, I can show you guys the Olympic stuff again. Just give me a second here. Titanic, would you do a video about the second Britannic? The second Britannic, I believe I've heard something about that. But maybe I need to do some research into it. Let's see. Explosion. Do you have a video on Molly Brown? Yes, I do. It's one of my early ones. Okay, let me go get the Olympic stuff real quick. I'll be right back, guys. I've showed these on the live stream before. But for all the new people here tonight, you guys haven't seen these. So essentially, these came from an estate sale. And the woman who had these, she sailed on the Olympic in the 1920s. And for those of you who are familiar with my channel, you'll know what the story is behind this. So yes, so I have some. So the lady who had these, she sailed on the Olympics in the 1920s. And when she passed away, they were going through her home in an estate sale, and they found all this stuff. So here is an original concert program from the RMS Olympic. A grand concert RMS Olympic for September 14th, 1925. And it has everybody who was playing on there that night. So this is an original document that was on board the Olympic in 1925. And this is something that she saved. So we've got that. And right here is an original White Star Line envelope. It still has the insignia right there. And inside of this envelope, being very careful, is an actual document card for the RMS Olympic. And it has the exact longitude, latitude, and miles that the Olympic covered on those specific days. And if you notice this piece of tape that's stuck on it, watch my sister's video on what happened with this when I got it, because this tape was not on there when I got it, but it was an unfortunate accident. So, but yes, you can see the longitude and latitude, the sea conditions, all of this stuff on there from the RMS Olympic. And these were all found in that estate sale. And all I try to do is whenever I look at these, to not, I mean, look at this card. Like, look how, I mean, this is from 1925. So look how frayed and old it is. And it also, she's got an original journal that talks about her trip. So in here, in the very first few pages, this is when she was on board. It has the date right there. On July 17th, she was in Liverpool. And she even talks about her voyage. So September 9th through September 14th, 1925, she was on board the Olympic. And there's information that she wrote about her crossing. So it's got all of this original documentation, all this stuff in here. And then if you go a little bit further back into the journal, this was all original stuff in here. It's full of all of these documents and cards and stuff from her trip. And where is it? I always want to show this. Yes. So she talked about during her trip that she went to visit the no man's land, because in 1925, the World War I trenches and stuff, I'm assuming they were still there. And inside this journal, I found this. It's she said she found this medal in the trenches of World War I, and I believe the Iron Cross, I believe that's what this was called, from on the German side. She actually found this in the trenches when she was looking at the no man's land in 1925. Pretty crazy stuff. And this was just sitting in here. And I've been trying to keep this journal as original as possible. And even inside here, there's still like old flowers that she taped to it and everything. So like, I tried to preserve this as absolutely best that I possibly could. But still, this is absolutely insanely cool stuff. This is just, I couldn't get over that all this was still there and that all this was still preserved. So I do my best to keep this as in perfect condition and original condition as possible. All right, I'm going to very gently put this up now. But yes, when I believe it or not, I found this listed on, I found a listing for all this stuff on eBay. And my family was kind enough to get this for me for Christmas last year. But yeah, watch my video, or not my video, watch the video on my sister's channel about how my Olympic card got some tape on it. But I don't leave those out. As soon as I'm done with them, I put them back up because I don't want anything at all to happen to that stuff. All right, everybody, we have passed the 1 hour mark, so I will probably take 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm going to wrap up the live stream for tonight, guys. Let's see. The Strange, could you do a video more in depth with the Californian, like about the sinking? The Strange, if you go back to one of the earliest videos on my channel, I made a video all about the Californian. It's months old, you know, it was back when I first started really pushing YouTube videos. But yes, I do have a video all about that. Alex, are you from West Virginia? I'm from Beckley, and I saw your Mountaineer hoodie. Yes, I'm from West Virginia. I'm in West Virginia right now. Let's see. Jasper, 55, thank you. Hello, are you following the new Titanic expedition that is currently underway? I am aware that they're out there right now, but I don't know what they're doing. Somebody told me in the chat that they were out there at the wreck right now, but I don't know anything about it. But I would like to follow it. I'm just not sure where to go to watch it, but I am aware that it's going on, and I'm curious to see what happens with it. Let's see. Neil, does the White Star Line still exist today? Yes and no. White Star Line merged with the Cunard Line in the 1930s following the Great Depression, and they had to do that to like get ships like the Queen Mary built. That was one of the conditions to get funding to build the Queen Mary, was that the Cunard and the White Star would merge together. But Cunard Line is still in existence today, but it's part of the Carnival Corporation. Let's see. Stuff. Sam, how's your new Olympic ship? And did you get to fit on the stand? No, I did not. The stand, I actually have to go and I need to get that replaced because the stand was damaged when I got it. All right, one more question, guys, and I'm going to wrap up the stream. Okay. Kaylin, which ship looked better, Titanic or Lusitania? Okay, we're going to compare looks here. All right, you know what we're going to do here? Everybody in the chat, let's answer this question together. In the chat, guys, which ship do you think looks better? In contestant A, RMS Titanic. Contestant B, RMS Lusitania. Which ship do you guys think looks the best? I'm going to tell you what I think. I like the Titanic, but Lusitania is a good-looking ship. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Which ship is the better ship? Titanic. There's a Lusitania. Titanic, Lusitania. And we have a winner, Titanic. Let's give it a round of applause. Oh, the goofy stuff we do on here. There was another super chat. Daniel 5, thank you. Big fan of the channel, mate. Thank you so much. Watch your stuff on a daily basis. Awesome. Have you considered a series on the Battle of Jutland or the Battle of the Atlantic? I have not, but I will actually save this into the idea list and I will take a look into it. I've got to start covering some war stuff. I really do need to start doing that. But I'm going to add this to the list right now. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. And do you guys want to see Rosie before I go? But yes, I am going to cover some war stuff. Do you guys want to see Rosie before I go? Let me know in the chat. Rosie, exclamation, exclamation. Lusitania with the black funnels look good. Titanic, please do a bit about Aquitania. It's on the list. Would you guys like to see Rosie before I go? Yes. Actually, I think I have some jerky. Right, let's see if I can get her to come into the room. Oh. All right, let's see if she will make an appearance tonight. I don't have a lot of jerky left, but there she is. She heard it. Hi, Rosie. Rosie, say hi to everybody. Rosie, everybody wants to see you every week. You know you're a celebrity, right? Rosie, you know you're a famous golden retriever now, right? Rosie, say hi to everybody. All right, I know what you want. I don't know if I have any big... Well, you know what? Here, let's just do this. It's mostly crumbs at this point, but... Here you go. Come on. Come here. There you go. There's some jerky for you. I barely had any left, so that worked out. Rosie and her beef jerky. She is such a mess. All right, everybody. Well, hey, on that note, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was a very fun live stream. It was a lot of fun. I'm wishing to wish everybody a very happy 4th of July. Everybody here, you guys are awesome. Keep doing what you do. Keep sending in the comments, guys. Keep sending video ideas because eventually I am going to cover all these video topics because I need to cover as many of these things as I can, but these videos are definitely a lot more involved to make now than they used to be. Like, I think I used to be able to pump out a video in an hour or two, but nowadays I'm so particular with them that it takes longer for me to make my videos now. So, but I'm doing the best that I can. You guys keep doing the video ideas, keep leaving the comments. You guys keep doing what you do. You guys are awesome. Everybody who did super chats tonight, thank you so much for all the support. All of you guys, thank you guys so much for all your support. All right, everybody. Well, hey, I'll see you same time next week. Everybody, y'all keep doing what you do. You guys are awesome. All right, everybody, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, everybody.